Trump settles in on debating Kamala. She's a third-rate candidate. Well, then why is she tied with you? Thank you, Water Goddess. I will do precisely that. Thank you. Ring neighborhood alert. Time to check in for my flight. I'm already checked in. Oh, Leslie, thank you so much. Glass ceiling shattered. You damn straight. Heroyam Slava, Ichabod dear.
Well, we are in countdown mode. We are 94 days away from the presidential election. Former President Trump assesses the state of the race, and now his new opponent.
And when she says race,
Kamala Harris.
We're leading the election by a lot.
No.
We knocked out Joe Biden. He didn't do too well in the debate, but that sort of ended it. And then he went.
You didn't knock him out. He left because of his age. You might want to take a cue.
Through a series of problems. And you know, they actually did it so interesting. It was actually a coup of a president.
It actually wasn't.
If you think of it.
No, if you think of it, it actually wasn't. If you actually think of it. If you actually. And again. Obviously, this gentleman and I have different ideas about what the concept of thinking actually means.
He's got 14 million votes. He campaigned for a year.
The ticket did, too. You know, he's got a vice president.
And he ended up winning, and they threw him out. They said, either you get out now or we're going to get you out the hard way. They said, there's an easy way and there's a hard way, Joe.
Is that what they said? They said, there's an easy way and there's a hard way, Joe? Is that what they said? And he was like, I'm thinking.
And you'll get out. And they got out and they put this woman in who's a failed candidate. You know, she failed. I mean, she was the first one out the last time. She never made it to Iowa. And now the media's taken over and they're trying to make her into Margaret Thatcher. But I don't think that's going to work.
Well,
No, you don't think so? Because you've been trying to make yourself into Margaret Thatcher, and she's just too butch.
Pollster Robert Cahaley told me yesterday that while she doesn't change anything in terms of policy, it's the same policy, she has changed the enthusiasm factor. Democrats will come out for her. So how does Kamala Harris change the race for you?
Well, I think that there is more enthusiasm for her. How can you be how can you be enthusiastic about Joe Biden? Okay.
I am. Still am, by the way. Love the dude. No problem whatsoever. I could teach a fucking I could give a TED talk on how to be enthusiastic about Joe Biden.
I mean,
and you of all people, Mr. Infrastructure Week, should know this.
How do you mean? But I think she's actually worse. I think she's a horrible candidate because she wants open borders. She was a border czar. She tries to, deny that now, which is
she's not the border czar.
Not working. And
she also says she's not against fracking, and she says she doesn't necessarily want to do Medicare for all anymore.
She wants everything bad, everything.
Yeah, Maria, stop bringing up policy. Look, you don't know how any of this works, do you, Maria? You dipshit with your whole notes and stuff. Look, I'm trying to get rid of Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security down the line while pretending I'm here to save it. So when you say she's for expanding it and stuff, I have to just say bad. Black lady bad, orange man good. How simple can it be? Maria, of all people, just write it, just bad. Just write this down. She doesn't want anything that's good. Honestly, what could be simpler in deference to my opinion of my voters?
Bad. If you look, she wants the all-electric car. She wants everything bad. She wants men playing in women.
Also, the all-electric car? Look, I'm for hybrids, but this is bullshit.
In sports, but think of the no fracking. She's going to destroy Pennsylvania. You'll destroy Pennsylvania and many other.
Well, fracking's doing a pretty good job of that already. Hold on one second. Just, if I may. Pennsylvania confirms first fracking-related earthquakes. This is in 2017. Pennsylvania officials say they've confirmed the state's first fracking-related earthquakes took place last year in Lawrence County, northwest of Pittsburgh. As a result, by the way, not too far from Butler. As a result, the Department of Environmental Protection is stepping up its requirements for drilling in that part of the state, which is known for seismic activity. In April 2016, Texas-based Hillcorp Energy Company was fracking a pair of wells. Fracking, you gotta frack. In the Utica Shale near Newcastle, Pennsylvania, when seismic monitors nearby detected 5 tremors, measuring between 1.8 and 2.3 on the Richter scale. Quakes that small are too faint to be felt on the surface, but they were significant, if only because fracking-induced earthquakes have never been recorded in the state. He's got a...
The places, by the way, your energy bills will double, triple, and quadruple.
She's like, why? I don't intend on living in Pennsylvania, and even if I was, it wouldn't... It's not like you get a special break on the gas that's made in the state.
Oh, she's terrible. She's not respected in these foreign countries. I mean, she's laughed at. Everybody can't believe that this is happening. Look.
Yeah, every time I pick up the phone and I say, hey, this is Trump, I want to talk about Kamala, people laugh, and then it goes, the line goes dead. Obviously, they think very little.
She's polling better than Joe Biden.
She was sent to see Putin.
Notice how she's like trying.
About not going into Ukraine. He would have never gone in with me. He went in 3 days later. This is what's happening. So, well, it's a little bit like a fighter, though. You know, you have a fighter and he's...
Also, what the fuck? She didn't go in... hold on. All right, hold on. This is, I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah, February 19th. Vice President Kamala Harris stood beside Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Saturday, vowing U.S. support for a nation on the brink of war. Shortly after warning in a speech, the U.S. allies would punish Russia if it invades its neighbor. The United States stands with Ukraine, she said. Any threats to your country we take seriously, and we have rallied our allies and our partners to speak with one voice. Zelensky, speaking through an interpreter, said he was grateful for America's support. This is our land, and the only thing we want is peace, said Zelensky. She said, we are grateful to you for your understanding that the sanctions may bring about a peaceful resolution of this matter. And then Russia attacked.
Winning, and then somebody else is getting punished and beaten, and they say, let's take that fighter out, let's put a new one. That's what they've done here. This was a coup to Joe Biden, and I'm not a fan of Biden. He's not a smart guy, never was. You can go back 30 years, he was never a smart guy. But
outsmarted you. He beat you. In the only election you guys have run against each other, he won.
She's not smart either. She's not a smart person.
Are you going to debate her?
She's going to beat you too. So let me get this straight. 2 stupid people are kicking your ass. How stupid do you have to be?
Well, I want to. We're leading in the polls, it seems, by quite a bit still.
Nope.
She's better than he is, but I think ultimately she'll be worse than him. She's more radical than him. He was a phony. She is also, but she's not a phony in terms of policy. She actually wants open borders. She actually wants to defund the police. To me, when you say open borders...
She was a DA and an attorney general.
Defund the police. You don't have to go into the rest of it, but you're going to have tremendously high energy prices.
Oh, you mean like that? You mean like the FBI?
She doesn't want any fossil fuels, which will destroy them.
How does she, by the way, how does the federal government defund local and state police? How do they do it? Because it seems like the only real way that you could defund the police if you were the head of the federal government would be the FBI, would be to undermine the funding for the FBI, would be to defund the FBI. Who is calling for defunding the FBI? Is it Democrats? Is it Kamala Harris? Is it Joe Biden? Is it anyone in the administration currently? No. Who is it? is this dude.
For the country, frankly.
But just to be clear, she's doing a rewrite of history right now. She says that
Of her history.
of her history. She says, I don't necessarily mean I will ban fracking now. And she said, well, I don't necessarily need to do Medicare for all. And I was never the border czar. You know that.
Yeah, she's doing a rewrite. No, it's not a rewrite, it's lies. And she also said, and so did he, that we had a very secure border under them. We had the worst border in the history of 20 million people.
Had, so not anymore. So obviously whatever they're doing is working, you're saying? I got you. And so if it was that bad, it was that bad. But the border bill didn't go far enough. But wouldn't anything be helpful if it worked at all? And then you could build on top. You go, this is totally inadequate, but it should be done. We got to do whatever we can to stop this. When I'm in there, I'll do twice as much.
People came in, 20 million people. And you know what they do? They just say it, and they keep.
No, it's not 20 million. By the way, he notice his number switches up all the time. Even at the National Association of Black Journalists, he was like 15, 16, 17, probably more than that. Now he's nailing 20 because I guess this is the dismount.
Saying it. The press helps them as much as possible. But they say very strongly, we had a great border. And people say, it's funny. You say it enough times and people start to believe it too.
It's weird. It's almost like they look around, they're like, my job hasn't been taken by someone who is from an insane asylum and can't speak English. I guess I can be proud of myself.
Scary part. They are, it's like a whole con job. It's misinformation, disinformation at the highest level. So now.
You guys got that, right? It's misinformation, disinformation at the highest level. I mean, sure, Biden had a mic drop the other day, but Trump, while reaching for his microphone, knocked it on the ground. Same thing. Okay? Same thing. The mic dropped. That's all you need to know. Okay?
Their new thing is we had a safe border. We had a wonderful border. And they hope people forget. Now, a lot of people aren't, but enough people are. And it's amazing that they can say it. We had the worst border in history. Joe Biden was the worst president.
Well, if it was the worst border in history, they would have to see it, right? They'd have to believe what their own lying eyes, I guess, right?
In history, she was the worst vice president. She was the most unpopular and least respected vice president in the history of our country. And now what's happened is the press.
Also, she's not even done, motherfucker. And that's not even close to true. And again, if she's the worst and the most unpopular vice president in the history of the country, why are you tied? You were president. You actually got to do shit. The vice president gets put in charge of stuff, but is limited in what they can legally do because there's no vice presidential executive orders. You could do stuff. She will eventually be able to do stuff in the same way that Biden could only advise Obama about Afghan policy, and Obama didn't listen to him when he should have, and later on Biden played it out, and that's why we're out now and we weren't out then. But you could have gotten us out. There is no point where Harris can do any of the things except follow her assignment and advise and consent until she's president of the United States. You've been president, and you're tied. If she's the worst, why are you tied? If she's the worst, why are you tied? If she's the worst, why are you tied? You were president of the United States. You're running to be president again, and you are tied in the polls with the worst vice president ever. Obviously, she wasn't. I'm kidding. Like Pokey, she's growing. Her lead is growing, and she's ahead of him. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point is that the fact that they're tied drives him crazy. That that it's within the margin of error in some places. You get my point.
Press is trying to make her popular. I don't think
she's an asshole. If she's unpopular, she's the same level of unpopular as you are. Do you see what I'm saying?
I think they'll be able to do it.
Do you regret?
It's too late. It's already happening. She's more popular than you. Her polls are going up. Your polls are going down.
Doing the debate when you did the debate, it gave the Democrats an opportunity to swap him out and put her in.
Yeah, way to go, dummy.
Early debate.
They wanted a debate. If I didn't do the debate, they'd say, oh, Trump's, not doing the debate. That's the same thing they'll say now. I mean, right now I say, why should I do a debate? I'm leading in the polls. And
no, you're not.
Everybody knows her. Everybody.
Look at this. Trump. Press is trying to make Harris popular. Are you just mad because that's what they did with you and they're not doing it anymore?
Everybody knows me. She wants open borders. She wants a weak military. She wants high.
Then debate her, dumb fuck. What's the problem? Debate her. If she wants all these things, call her on it. Say it to her face.
Taxes. They want to quadruple your taxes more than.
Well, then I would go, shit. If that was true, I couldn't wait to get on TV with an opponent like that and go, they want to quadruple your taxes. I memorized their tax plan. For everybody in this percentile, you're going to go up 26%, which effectively is 4 times what you're currently paying now with some of the things they're trying to get rid of, the loopholes for this particular group. And these are not rich people. These are people who are ice skating uphill. This is the middle class we're talking about. And my opponent wants to raise their taxes, the middle class, 4 times. 40, you know what? I'll use Trump math. 40 times. They're trying 40% times higher. Right? Wouldn't you be in a big if that was true, would you be in a big fucking hurry to stand across from them I couldn't wait to debate somebody if they were doing that, something that extreme.
That with me, I want low taxes. I want a strong border. I want strong drug policy. Our country's becoming a drug
Obviously, so Don Jr. will be in charge?
Addicted country. We're like China from 200 years ago.
Oh, God. All right. We're like China from 200 years ago. Now, I presume he's talking about opium because opioids. No. No, we most certainly are not. Largely because we're not at war with England.
Everybody took over China because everybody was drugged out with the opium. And then one day they said death penalty to anybody that deals, and lots of different things.
They said death penalty for lots of people that deal with different things. That's true. The CCP will kill just about anybody.
Happened. But
death penalty for anybody who has 2 working kidneys.
Look, we have...
And is the right blood type.
A country that's really become drug addicted. We have a drug addicted country. You know that.
And that was the moment where Maria realized, oh my God, he's fucking high.
And we better do something about it. We better do it fast. It comes through.
Yeah, just say no. I want to drill, baby, drill. Just say no. And I like Ike. I'm going to, these are all my ideas. I came up with these. I've invented drill, baby, drill. Just say no. I like Ike. I made them all up. These are all by America first.
Through the southern border, it comes out of China.
Also, you know what else comes out of China? I'm just saying, the kidney.
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Oh, good. I was worried about that. I wasn't quite sure what the fuck you were talking about.
And I had to deal with President Xi. They were going to give the death penalty to anybody sending drugs to America. They were going to give the fentanyl.
They were gonna do that, and then they went, meh, fuck them.
It comes out of China. For some reason, it's made in China.
They were going to do that for you, but because Biden won, because they like him, they decided not to. So they control Biden, and to show how much they want him to stay in power, they're sending more fentanyl. That makes sense. Yeah. Like, silly. You know what? I'm sorry I even questioned it. You know, I think you and I was trying to work it out, and I was like, that sounds fucking bananas and completely the opposite of the argument that you've been making forever. But now, in thinking of it, I smell almonds.
China It goes to the southern border. It comes into our country right now at 9 times more than it was 4 years ago. We are the strongest border.
Everything is coming into the country 9 times more than it was during COVID, when nothing was coming in to the country. You are such a stupid person.
Border that we've ever had in recorded history.
Recorded history, obviously, when you didn't have a border, it was hard to keep track.
And they have the worst border that we've ever had.
No, not even close.
Think of it, Maria. In 3.5 years, we have probably the numbers 20 million people came into our border. Many from prisons.
Nope.
And jails. Many from mental institutions. Okay, insane.
You said that a long time ago, and you were mocked.
You said that, all right, and people made fun of you because you were saying that black people's jobs can be taken by crazy people who don't speak English. Obviously, he means the rapist jobs, He's worried that, South American cannibals are going to take cannibal jobs away from good, hardworking American cannibals.
I know.
In fact, now we know.
They're empty. You know why? Because it's.
What do you mean, now we know? No, you don't.
Common sense. It's all about common sense. If I ran one of those countries, I would do Honduras. But it's not just South America.
Wait. If you ran one of those countries, cool. All right, let's work this out. I want to work this out. I got to work this out. If you ran Honduras and you had a bunch of Looney Tunes, cannibal, rapey monsters, and you're like, what do we got to do with all these guys? It's like we're printing them. Where are we going to put them? We're running out of space. And I got a good idea. Send them to America. How? On foot. Yeah, but we have a problem. What's that? Well, when we let them out and we go walk that way, they only do it for about 6 blocks, and then they start attacking everybody because they're insane rapists, sociopaths, and cannibals, some of them. So how do we get them there? We could fly them in. That's a visa issue. Could fly them to the border. We'll fly them into Mexico. And the Mexican government, which has obviously a trade agreement with the United States, won't mind if we just dump a bunch of crazy people in their country and then let them walk from the airport to the border, because I'm sure they won't be rapey and cannibally the 65 miles they have to walk through cartel land, fucking and eating their way through gang members or something. I think it's just going to have to be parachutes at this point.
Okay. It's all over the world. It's the Congo in Africa. They're sending all their prisoners. The Congo are sending their prisoners to the United States.
Yeah. Look, I understand. I've been trying to scare the shit out of you that brown cannibals are coming, and apparently that's not scary enough. So how about black cannibals? Is that scarier? Will that get you dumbasses up off your couch and come vote for me? These are black. It's one thing to be raped by a gang of face-tattooed MS-13 monsters and then slowly eaten after being roasted with some, I think, fingerling potatoes and some probably cumin be involved, I'm guessing. That's bad enough. But imagine if Africans were doing it. That sucks. Because they don't even know. I mean, what are you gonna find yourself dead on what, rice and grain, some sort of like UN bagged rice? Like, I mean, come on. That's no way to go out. I want to go, out to the side of, maybe Cajun okra, on the side, and some, some Brussels sprouts done in sort of a honey glaze and that kind of stuff, and a nice Chianti, fava beans, something.
United States. They're bringing them into the United States. They're driving them across. They're dumping them into our country.
Are they? That's how they get in here? So they're coming through they're driving through. So they're coming across at the borders in trucks. So shouldn't we have more gear to spot whether trucks have people in them? Or well, that was in the border bill. I'm just saying.
But it's Africa, it's Asia, it's the Middle East.
Ugh. And see, you might like some, South American people. Or you'll be like, oh, what if some those chicks from Carnival from Brazil come up here? No, that'd be fine. What if they? I mean, obviously you'd have to, pumice their feet a little because it's a long walk, and their feet are going to be a little chapped. But once they get in here, you know what I'm saying? That would be fine. No, you'd think so, but what's hiding behind their big ass? I'll tell you, 2 Congolese cannibals. That's just bitter in the ass, developed lockjaw, and got dragged into the United States. I have to laugh at this story because this is just so fucking stupid. Can I just look? I'm not taking the racism seriously. I'm just refusing to take the rest of the bullshit seriously. Okay? Seriously, I will not. This will not stand.
It's not just South America.
No, it'd have to be worse than that because you guys, you know some brown people. But I don't. But if you know some, you seem to be fine with them. These people are black. Some of them are Arabs. You know what I mean? Yeah, they kind of, learn how to take off an airplane but never land it. You know what I'm talking?
But South America has a lot. But you know what's happening? All of these jails all over the world are being emptied out, and they're bringing their prisoners and dumping them in the United States.
Really? And they're doing this in box trucks, or they're parachuting in, or they put I guess some of them come in through Florida, where they just strap a shark fin to their back and have them swim in.
On the debate, she's taunting you now. She's saying he doesn't want to debate me. Say it to my face, President Trump. That's what she said the other night.
Look, she's a third-rate candidate.
Then debate her. Say that to her face. Say you're a third-rate candidate. Don't say it to Maria Bartiromo, you chicken shit.
She failed in her attempt against many other candidates. She was the first one to drop out. She never made up.
Right, because there was already an agreement in place that she would make a great candidate, but she would lose ground the more she attacked her fellow Democrats. And Biden was already talking to her and 2 others about the potential for being a VP, and they jibed. They got along great.
Iowa. And that was
somebody in the chat room just said, what about Norwegian cannibals? Get out of there. There are no white cannibals. And even when there are, they're all in Wisconsin already. I think, technically speaking, one of our most famous cannibals might be of Norwegian descent, if we really think about it. Dad, sorry, my fish died, and I had that meat that went bad, so I'll get it cleaned out this weekend. No, Dahmer. He was blonde, blue-eyed. Never mind.
When you had a normal press. Now you have a press that's trying to protect her. The media is really dishonest.
And you know this more than anyone because you're in it.
And you have a press that's right, so maybe she'll do better. I don't know. But I think ultimately, when...
Hey, asshole, you can solve that. Debate her. There's nobody between the two of you. You might have, debate moderators, but you can still rebut what she said. You'll even have time allocated to do it, and they can't fucking stop you. You can't bitch about the press if you're only going to let this debate be carried out in the press. You obviously are invested in the press if you're willing to allow the debate to only exist in the press.
When they hear she wants to defund the police, when they hear that she wants open borders and always wanted them. But it is amazing.
It's amazing.
The news yesterday, and it's almost like she wants...
Oh, boy. I watched the news yesterday. Oh, boy. 10,000 holes in Blackburn, Lancashire. What is that? Is that an airport outside of London?
To have strong borders all of a sudden. She was the worst border czar in history. And
she wasn't the border czar.
With politics, it's your first thought that you always go back to. She wanted...
Oh, really? So you're pro-Clinton, pro-Oprah. It's the first thought you always go back to?
at open borders, and that's where she'll be. She wants all of these things that are bad for our country. And she,
yeah, and again, Maria, stop asking about policy specifics. She wants all of these things. Write this down. She wants all of these things that are, yes, bad for our country. Yeah, just write that down. All of these things. What do you mean specifically? All. What part of all of these things do you not understand? All things that are bad for our country. I won't specify. I won't say America because I get a cramp whenever I say it because I really mean Russia. So
she does want to defund the police. She's weak on police. You know, I have almost 100% of the police forces, the police people, the association.
Yeah, the 6% that you don't have are the ones that have actually met you or looked at the evidence, I suppose. That group, it's a growing group, I will say.
Are endorsing Trump. The sheriffs all over the country, nobody's endorsing her. She ruined San Francisco. She's a San Francisco liberal. She ruined San Francisco.
Yeah, so, okay, San Francisco liberal isn't going to work. You'll have to say San Francisco progressive because you've been able to demonize that word. But San Francisco liberal sounds like something from the 60s, and people are kind of for it. Hashtag rip San Francisco.
She ruined.
Also, where is Twitter's headquarters?
The state of California. She was earlier than some of these people that are so bad right now.
Well, Vice President Kamala Harris is now deciding on her running mate. So it looks like the finalists are Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania. Does he help her get more votes in Pennsylvania? What about Mark Kelly? Does he help her with the border, Arizona?
I don't know. I don't know where I am. Who are you?
I don't care. Let them do whatever. They still want to have open borders. If she picks Shapiro, she's going to lose the Palestinian vote. And that's
the Palestinian vote. That's, by the way, that's his way of hoping that he will get Jewish votes. Like, he's worried that she will steal Jewish votes from him that he's not going to get anyways.
Fine. Everybody has their liabilities. I think if she picks Shapiro, who happens to be Jewish, she loses her little Palestinian.
He is Jewish. He doesn't happen to be Jewish. He didn't like trip and fall into some Jew. He is Jewish. Happens to be.
Palestinian base because they like me because they think I'm going to bring peace to the Middle East. Even.
Whoa. All right. Hold on. So she's going to lose the, quote, Palestinian vote if she takes Shapiro because he's a Jew. But those people are voting for you anyways because they think, and this is an interesting choice of words, that you're going to bring peace to the Middle East. Have they heard what your plan is, which is apparently to let Netanyahu carpet bomb Gaza and get it over with, to destroy the cancer and do it quickly?
Though I'm very strong for Israel. Israel loves me. But you know, a lot of the Arab states like me too, because you know what they want to see? They want to see peace.
At what cost?
And I did the Abraham Accords. Nobody realizes we would have had peace all over the Middle East. I think I would have gotten Iran into the Abraham Accords. You want to know the truth? They were dying to make a deal. Iran.
Not if the Saudis are in it, dummy.
Iran was broke.
Okay, stop. Difference between Shia and Sunni. Go. That's what you do if anybody but Maria Bartiromo is sitting right there. Explain to me the difference between Shia and Sunni. And I won't even make you guess which one. One of them believes direct lineage. One of them believes familial lineage of Muhammad, basically. So how do you work that out? Ever. Never mind, how do you work out them and Jews? Never mind, how do you work out the Talmudic Jews that mock Christ and think Christianity is an aberration and all that stuff and who are not shy about saying it? How do you fix that with that crowd in the United States? How do you work all that shit out magically with your little Abraham accordion? What tune do you play on your Abraham accordion?
And then now they're a very wealthy country. They have $300 billion in cash. But Iran was broke. They would have made a deal, but Biden blew it, as you.
They haven't spent any of it? Not any of it. And they didn't like even fix the rec room that they were going to do, because I knew they wanted to change the drapes, but they were waiting to see if the check cleared. They got all that money and nothing to do with it. So it's weird. Yet they're still having to. It might does it have anything to do with the fact that they're selling arms to Russia? Does that bother you?
Usual. They are the worst. Look, he's the worst president in the history of our country, and she's a big part of it.
Again, he thinks, and I'll let you guys go now because I know I went long. He thinks, Ethel thinks that that it will be enough just to say awful, awful, bad, 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 worst ever. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. Is terrible. It's the terriblest. It's the worst and baddest. And bad. It's so bad. It's worse than anybody's ever worst in your whole liverwurst life. And that's what he thinks. He thinks that's enough. He thinks that's gonna sell him to the American people. I got news for you. It ain't. Anyways, that's Friday. I went long because I gotta go. I gotta go catch a plane. So, anyways, much love to you guys. I have to pack. Shit. All right. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the radio show. No afternoon show today because I will be on a plane. Bye.